Hi guys, it's Kodiak and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to introduce you to OpenGuessr. It's a new browser game that is pretty similar to GeoGuessr, but it has many other additional features, including quizzes, guides, and obviously the main guessing part as well. So to start, you see this is the homepage of the educational part of the website. You see a globe here where you can click every single country and learn a bit about them. You also can do that in the menu itself, but let's say we want to learn something about Niger. For example, if you don't know, the top level domain of Niger is NE. Now you can learn that here, how many people live there, what language they speak. And one main aspect of OpenGuessr is as well that it's open source. So you can always edit to this page yourself and contribute by that. Okay, next I want to show you some quizzes. So this website has multiple quizzes. First of all, obviously the countries of the world. So every African country, all countries, Asian countries, and so on. Then you also have, for the bigger countries, you have the subdivisions, so you can guess in which subdivision you are. Big cities, capital cities, flags, and then satellite, which is pretty cool. So you see, like, from satellite above, which city you might be in. And then you also have, like, some geo-guessing clues. For example, bollards. In which country do you find this bollard? Which country has this top-level domain? And then you also have like those multinational alliances, so yeah, another country guessing part. I want to take some of those quizzes now. Let's just start easy with Australia, for example, so I can show you how it works. So at the top, it obviously says which state you need to click. This is now the clicking version, so assuming you already know every state. But you also can click here, learn, and then it shows you every single subdivision, so you can learn that and try to improve. And once you got those, you can do it in the click mode. And once you know those, maybe you can do it the other way around, so it highlights which state you are in. And then you just need to type it out. So now Victoria, it also auto-completes, so you can click that and then submit, and then it highlights. So let's quickly just do the clicking part. So Victoria, New South Wales, Western Australia, Queensland, Tasmania, ACT, South Australia, and NT. And in the end, it shows the score. So I got 8 out of 8 correct, and 100%, and also the time. So if you want, you can try to improve your time by doing it all over again as fast as possible. And maybe you get like 4 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever. So yeah, that's pretty good to learn about certain countries, for example. Let's try something else. For example, some satellite quizzes. I think they're a lot of fun. So yeah, let's do the capital quizzes from above. So you get an image of a capital city somewhere in the world. You can pan around a bit, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and then at the bottom you get 4 options which cities they could be. And yeah, like if you get 10 in a row correct, then yeah, you won that game, so to say. Yeah, I don't think this is Pretoria, I don't think this is Bamako, because Bamako is quite flat. I think from the dryness this makes a lot of sense with Windhoek, and if we zoom in we also see it's like fairly African looking, so not Baghdad. Also Baghdad lays on a river. So yeah, I think this is Windhoek. This is a jungle, so I think this loaded a bit wrongly, but just assuming from those options, it's either Lima or Brasilia. Let's click Brasilia because it's close by. Yeah, it has some flaws, but I mean, generally it's well done. Okay, this is Canberra, I think. I didn't even look at the options, but this is very recognizable. The Australian capital, like the central like plaza part is very rounded, and you see it from space. This I think is Kigali. I think with the addition of Street View there, I got quite familiar with the hill shapes. So yeah, Kigali lays in hills, and you see like small valleys in between. So I think this should be Kigali. This one is in a fairly agricultured area. It's not super green, but it's kind of a mix between dryness and greenness. So yeah, I don't think it's Vilnius or Riga. And I also don't think it's Damascus. Damascus would be more dry, and I think this also has quite an African, sub-Saharan African touch to it. So yeah, I think Harare makes perfect sense, and it is in Zimbabwe. This one is quite okay. It has quite dry hills. I was thinking this might be Ankara, and this is also an option. Perfect. So yeah, Beijing, obviously not, would be way bigger and flatter, and green. Windhoek we already had. And Kingstown is also way smaller and in a more like tropical environment. So I think Ankara makes perfect sense. This looks like a big planned city. I think there's Riyadh. Yeah, Riyadh is also an option. Perfect. Like Riyadh is very recognizable with all its grids in the middle of the desert pretty much. And it's a huge city. So this should be Riyadh. Here we have... I don't even see the city. I was thinking first that looked like Australia or something. I'm not quite sure actually. What is this? Yeah, there's a lot of agriculture here. So yeah, it doesn't look like Antananarivo, like Madagascar at all. I also don't think it looks like Georgetown. Georgetown is way more tropical, and Tunis also not. So I guess this Victorian Australia as a state, and there's maybe some small coding issue. I guess that's just there are also other quizzes with satellites, so maybe that had a small problem, but it's fine. This one is just, I guess, the Thames. So London. I think here you see the Buckingham Palace. Yeah. So yeah, this should be just London. And as the last one, we got, it should be Minsk from all those options. It's has a big forest area around it. So yeah, that makes sense. And also from Street View, you know the Minsk tracker in the center. So zoomed into that multiple times before. And we got all 10 correct, 100% accuracy. And yeah, I mean, I love Satellite Guesser. It's so much fun. Also so many other modes here, as you can see. So yeah. There's a lot to try here. And this is like the quizzes part, so you can do flags, cities, regions, countries. There's a lot that you can learn here. And then there's also a guide section where you can learn about like the guessing aspect with Street View. So it's like a lot like it's very similar to GeoGuessr, as I said, the other part of the game that I will show you later. And here you have guides explaining you how to use all those things that you need to use in your gameplay. And it's actually very well made. So for example, just the basic, if you want to know how to use the compass ideally, so that you know where the sun is and how to angle up roads, everything is explained here. So this is great. Or for example, Street View coverage, just knowing which countries have Street View, you can see that here. And then it also explains to you, okay, what are camera generations? I think that's a very important thing for beginners to distinguish camera generations. So this is also explained here in a very well explanation. Here you can see which countries have which camera type and coverage type. So this is also great, and then it explains unofficial camera coverage and so on. So you can learn a lot about the basics of the game, but also some more improved stuff. So for example, if you want to learn about European guardrails, you can read about that. So you know where you find A type, where you find B type in which countries. This is very helpful when you play, for example, duels that I will show you later as well. I really like this website. Like you have so much to learn on here, which will improve your gameplay by a lot. And also, like here, you can learn about map creation, for example. So how to do proper maps that are fun to play with like tools. So it's very well made. And as I said, it's also open source, so you can contribute by yourself, which is great. Okay, let's run some Indonesia, for example. So you can click on countries here. You learn about the country itself. And then there's a short explanation about the country. You can contribute by yourself, as I said. And then you can click here on Explore, and it will open up a map of in-game map of Indonesia itself, so you can play Indonesia. You can also click here by Play OpenGuessr on the left side, but this is a very fun way to immediately use the stuff that you learned in the guides, and then it opens up a location, and then you are in an Indonesia location, which is super cool. So now you can try and region guess Indonesia based on that. So let's do that. I kind of like myself some Indonesia. I was thinking when I spawned in, this should be Java. We don't really have specific poles, but I associate this like rocky walls on the side of the road and like this very like rich brown soil with like the border between like East and Central Java and like Eastern Yogyakarta. I think it's very common to find those walls there in the soil, so let's click here. It's just like GeoGuessr. You open a map, you can zoom in, zoom out, you put your marker then, and then you can click guess. And this is where it was. It was very close. So yeah, those walls are pretty helpful. It plays like like every other map game. Like it's very well made. You just like get the same thing as GeoGuessr pretty much, which is pretty nice. So let's go to another round just to see if I can repeat that. So yeah, those poles should be North Sumatra, which is this region here. So where you have like the connecting bar underneath the pole ending and two parts of insulators on one side and one on the other side. So that should be North Sumatran pole top. And we also have a sign here, I think. Maybe it has some information on it. I don't really see anything here, so that's not the most helpful one. But being kind of hilly, I was thinking it's more on the western side, maybe like Padang Sidempuan, or like on the western side generally, but maybe it's a bit more north as well. Let's click guess, and it was. So yeah, you see, it's just like GeoGuessr, and I really like that aspect. So you can not only obviously play country maps. If you click here on top on maps, you have so many options to choose from. So you have like base maps, so the standard world map, some capital cities or famous places. Maybe for beginners, this is a lot of fun. But you also have, let's go to the special games later. You can select country-specific maps, so that's what I just played. Indonesia, for example. You can also play just continents. Or, what is very interesting, you have community spotlight. So you can select maps made by community members. Let's just play the first one here, Equalized World, which should be just a world map. Yeah, here, standardized world map. Let's play Equalized World, and then you just get a world map where you can, yeah, just guess based on your knowledge. You can also move around if you want, or you can, yeah, obviously you can make your own rules. You can play NMPZ. Yeah, you also have the compass on the bottom side here, so it's literally just like GeoGuessr. So I was thinking we are in Spain here, based on the poles here, like the indents, and I think those big mountains being to the south might be here in Andalusia, like those mountains close to like the Sierra Nevada, or maybe some other mountains that I'm not too familiar with, but I would just guess here Sierra Nevada, and they are actually yeah, some good guesses today. So this is how you can play community maps, so made by community members, but there are also other options. So yeah, you see here multiple, but you can also play special games. So Country Guesser, for example, I think this is also a great way to learn the game. So you get options at the bottom, and you just need to guess from those options which country you might be in. I think this is a great way to get familiar with the game. To, yeah, like if you're not sure, might be the US, might be Canada, but you don't have the option for Canada at the bottom, for example, then you know, okay, this must be the US if you have the feeling of North America, for example. So I think this is the US, and then I logged that in, and it was Alaska indeed, so the US. Okay, another aspect of the game that I wanted to show you is the multiplayer aspect, and if you click multiplayer here on the top, you can play duels. So you just play 1v1 duels against other members of the community. It's a 3-round game, so they go very, very quickly. And normally you find the game pretty quickly as well. So let's click Find Duel. Let's wait a bit. And that's already, we found a game. I played a few games already. So, okay. So this should be Brazil with that pole. That's, yeah, fairly western normally. I can line up with the compass. Maybe the round angle. Oops, it's... okay, I got stuck on that. It's fairly east-western. I was thinking it might be like, yeah, here in the Amazon part of Para, because that pole is pretty common there. Let's just click that. Oops, I'm stuck to the ground there. But yeah, like this alternating pole top is very common in Para and Mato Grosso. So let's hope it's there. And it's even Amapa, that makes perfect sense. That also appears there quite a lot. And if you click continue, we see the next round. So we see we just finished round 1 of 3. Now the second round starts. Yeah, we can also, if we wish to do so, we can play moving. We can play it as no move as we wish, as we want to be. So we have the A15 to Morgshold here, which is, I think, on the Isle of Man, actually. Maybe it's not. Okay, it's no wait, I think it's the Isle of Man with the red stripe there. I don't see the A15 immediately. But yeah, we have the coast to the north. So yeah, maybe we're somewhere around Peel, I guess. That makes the most sense. But yeah, so you just play duels as you wish. You can do moving, you can do no move, you can do NMPZ. There's like a elo based system. You can just, like, if you win, you gain some elo. If you lose some, obviously. Let's click continue to see the last round. So we see I'm in the lead. And the last round is... let's play it's no move. I was thinking Slovenia. Oh, I didn't want to move, sorry. I think this is Slovenia. Just, it vibes a bit like Alps, but not quite Germanic. That's what I was thinking. Ah, no, okay. This should be France with those ball tops then. But I think it will be like Eastern France, close to the Alps. That could also make sense then. Yeah. That makes sense. That's why it was Germanic, because it was in Elsass, which, yeah, once was Germany. So yeah, this is the duels aspect. I think it's a lot of fun. So now you will see I won, because I had more points, and I gained 16 elo. Okay, that's it for OpenGuessr. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed the website myself. If you want to try it out, in the description, the first link leads you to it. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.